Earlier this week, the founder of Facebook testified before Congress, and I want to make 2 points about the Zuckerberg hearings relating to the 2 different functions that Congress performs in the federal government. Congress conducts oversight, particularly of the executive branch and federal agencies, and it also legislates, which is to say it makes the law. We should be concerned about each of these functions as they pertain to Congress's attention, investigation, and potential legislation addressing social media companies. First, with respect to oversight, the hearings were a clown show, and they revealed, if anything, that members of Congress basically know nothing about technology. And that shouldn't surprise us because they're from generally a generation that didn't get the opportunity to be exposed to it in the same way as those of us who have come since. And there is certainly a need for generational transition in a body. The seat for which I'm running for Congress, California's 12th Congressional District, represented by Nancy Pelosi for the last 30 years, has been locked out. For over 30 years, the internet did not exist when Nancy Pelosi went to Congress. And so we are long overdue for a generational transition, and you can see the need for it reflected in the hearings, or the show, or the debacle, I should say, that we witnessed on Capitol Hill this week. With respect to legislation, Congress is beset by any number of dysfunctions, partisan gridlock, corporate influence. It is particularly disturbing that when Congress does turn its attention to internet policy, it usually gets it wrong. And I want to note 3 different discrete points so far in 2018 when that has happened. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, Section 702, was extended by Congress and expanded to increase the extent to which the internet has become co-opted as a tool for global surveillance by not just the NSA, but also the FBI and the DEA. Separately, SESTA and FOSTA. These were bills that nominally aimed to address human rights in the context of sex trafficking that ultimately led to internet censorship, because what they did was make platforms liable for the content that other people post on them, giving those platforms an incentive to censor content. And you at least have theoretical rights vis-a-vis the government. You have very few rights vis-a-vis the corporate platforms that we increasingly rely on as part of your internet experience every day. So in that context, not only did Congress so far this year expand surveillance, but then also facilitate and encourage private censorship. And then in the budget deal that recently passed was included a provision, the Cloud Act, which Congress had affirmatively rejected before, but basically gives the United States government and foreign governments the opportunities to circumvent each other's privacy laws when spying on their own citizens, which is to say, our government can now go to the British government to get information about Americans to which it wasn't already entitled. And just to be clear, the information omniscience to which our federal agencies aspire is essentially through this process compounded by its collaboration with foreign governments. And here's the piece to remember about the Cloud Act. It did not get a single hearing in Congress, and now it is the law. So we should be concerned both about inadequate oversight and about premature legislation. I'm concerned about both. I look forward to following the situation, and I'll give you updates as we proceed. And if you live in San Francisco, California's 12th Congressional District, I look forward to your support in the June 5th primary. Visit us online to learn more about my platform, my background, at www.shahidforchange.us. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Shahid for Change.